Ukraine is currently at war. Looking on those terrifying pictures, you must be thinking, oh my God, the entire country is probably in fire. It is definitely a really bad situation, and especially in the east of Ukraine, the devastation of the cities is unprecedented. But something you have to consider and understand is that situation is not the same all around the country. Just want to remind you that Ukraine is the largest European state, approximately twice the size of Germany or Italy. So there are some areas which are much safer than those which are under the direct bombardment of the Russian army. That's why many people move to the west of Ukraine in order to stay as far as possible from the source of aggression. And if you ask me, Orest, which part of the country do you consider to be the safest at the moment? I would say that this is probably the Zakarpattia or Transcarpathian province of Ukraine. It is situated behind the Carpathian mountains, which play a role of the natural shield separating a small piece of land in the west of the country from the rest of the largest portion of our state. So in this video I invite you to drive through the Carpathian mountains, visiting Zakarpattia, visiting the Transcarpathian province, in order to see it and at least try to feel what is the atmosphere down there. Let's go! My name is Orest and this is my lovely wife.
Hello.
Marta. She decided to stay with me even though the entire part of the females of my family fled Ukraine. So we are currently resisting here, we are staying here, and we are documenting in order to show you everything from the local perspective, what is happening in Ukraine. Are you ready for the trip?
Of course, let's go.
Let's go, and my father is also joining us. Carpathian Mountains is the second largest mountain range in Europe after Alps. They start in the west, near Bratislava, very close to Vienna, in western Slovakia, and then stretch east along the Polish and Slovakian borders, crossing through western side of Ukraine, where we are now actually, and then going down to Romania, all the way far, like reaching even Serbia. At this part, like in the middle part of the Carpathian Mountains, they are relatively low comparing to like western and southern sections. So the average height of the mountains here are approximately a little bit over than 1,000 meters above the sea level. So even though like this is the main transport way, the area around is still pretty tranquil. So all around you can see the traditional villages with wooden churches where people still maintain relatively a traditional way of life comparing to modern cosmopolitan cities of Ukraine. And this is a favorite holiday destination for many Ukrainians during the peaceful time. Now, like all the hotel, every guest house is fully booked for obvious reasons. There are like millions of refugees from eastern Ukraine arrived here, so people were looking for the shelter. So at the moment there is still snow in the mountains, it's early spring, and the weather is beautiful, and I hope that our first stretch of this trip will be fine. You see, I told you about the traditions. Some people use horses for their daily needs. And on the left as well. Okay, so we are crossing the mountain pass. This is it. And guys, I can say that we are officially now... Okay, this is the highest point of the pass. And now we start going down, you see? Wow! And this is officially Transcarpathian province of Ukraine. The place that we just crossed has also historical significance because a little bit over than 1,000 years ago, first Hungarian tribes crossed these mountains and settled eventually in the Pannonian Plain at the present days, where is Hungary and all of that area around. So the entire terrain south of the Carpathian Mountains has absolutely different climate, different geographical scene. It's more arid, and it was much more adaptable to Hungarian tribes which originated from Asia. So that's why the Transcarpathian part of the country was heavily influenced historically from Hungary, and now we are closely bordering this nation, having a lot of trade, a lot of relations between us. And in general, during the war, Hungarians received a large portion of refugees as well. And for example, my family also, the female part, went there. This is on the skyline. You can see much taller mountains, yes, really of alpine origin. And this is Borjava. They're going up over 1,600 meters. And this is my favorite place for snowboarding in Western Ukraine. A lot of free ride there, really cool spot to spend the time in winter during the peaceful times. The snow disappeared pretty quickly, as you can see. We just went to the valley, and yeah, it's much warmer here in Transcarpathian area, which tells us that we are moving south, and always, I remember myself visiting these places. The cherry blossom, the grass, the leaves always appear here much faster, at least 2 weeks than in Lviv, for example. And even the towns and villages here, for historical reasons, look a little bit different than those we have north of the Carpathian Mountains. So we are approaching Mukachevo. This is the regional hub in the Transcarpathian province, situated in the center of this area, and that's the place that we are going to be exploring. Our main reason why we actually came to Transcarpathia is not simply to have a trip, right? My father is taking the train here, one of those evacuation trains, to go to Hungary. Because if you've seen one of my previous videos, you might know that my family fled abroad, so they eventually ended up in Budapest, recovered, and now my father is bringing some stuff that they need in order to proceed further. So we found a way from the town of Mukachevo. You can hop on a train and go straight to Hungary, and then continue onward to Budapest. The people are already waiting. You see on this platform, it's especially organized for these evacuation trains. People go there and then continue to Hungary. Everybody's waiting, probably excited before crossing the border to a safer place. The volunteers who are helping people to organize things here, they are teaching basic Hungarian words, how to behave, how to greet people once they arrive there, because it's really big gratitude. They help us, so we have to be polite as well. And Hungarian language is very, very different from any of the Slavic languages, any of the Germanic or even Latin. So that's something special. Many local residents of Zakarpattia, they understand or they know Hungarian language, but for the refugees who are coming from bigger part of Ukraine, this is absolutely foreign culture. So some basic vocabulary is very, very helpful. This is our train. Everybody will fit, don't worry, the volunteer just told. And people are hugging each other, you can see. For some of them, they don't know when they're going to meet their family. Let's go, let's go. Up. Done. All right, so that was the most important project for today. I really hope and I know that my father is a skillful person. He will get to Budapest without any problem, meet my family after being separated for over than 2 weeks. And he is coming back actually to Lviv afterwards. So I'm waiting for him and now invite you to explore a little bit of Mukachevo, because this is an interesting city on itself. Okay, father, I wish you good luck and I wait you back at home very soon. See you. Whew, that was a busy morning, but anyway, we did everything pretty well. And now it's time to do what we deserve for, which means to have a lunch. The local traditional dish is bohrach. This is the one, it's like really heavy soup, a lot of bunch of stuff inside. And if you know, like this is pretty typical for Central Europe, and many people consider bohrach to be traditional Hungarian dish. Obviously, it's very local and native to this place, because the area of Zakarpattia is closely culturally connected to Hungary. So I simply could not miss this place, and bohrach is like, I can tell like this: if you didn't try bohrach, it means you didn't visit Zakarpattia. Oh my god, so good, so good. I also got here pickled stuff. It's my favorite. And Marta, what is your lunch? What are you having?
I have potatoes pancakes, but it's really unusual here. In Lviv we have small ones, but here you can see the size.
It's huge.
It's
It is. You know how it's called? Gypsy potato pancake.
Really? Wow.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Really?
like the local stuff.
Yeah.
The name gypsy potato pancake, or in Ukrainian циганський дерун, has a reason. The fact is that there is a numerous Roma community living in Transcarpathian area of the country, and they naturally blend with the local Ukrainian population, which makes this area very, very unique. And apart from the Roma, there are also many Hungarians, many Romanians, and even Slovak communities living in Transcarpathia, making this the most multicultural and diverse province of the entire Ukraine. So we just arrived to the downtown of Mukachevo, which is a nice city on itself. I'm going to walk around here a little bit and will show you what's happening just to feel this atmosphere. But in the meantime, let's let Marta go to rest a little bit, yes? What are you going to do, honey?
So tomorrow I have this excursion for those people who left from Kiev and from east of Ukraine. And it will be excursion to Lviv art galleries, just to, to relax people more. And now I have to prepare for this event.
Okay, good luck. Mwah. See you in 1 hour, yeah?
1 hour?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Calming down the atmosphere, this is definitely something what people need nowadays. And that's the reason why many refugees from the rest of Ukraine are arriving to Zakarpatska Oblast, to Transcarpathian province, and particularly to Mukachevo. As you see, it's very, very calm here. People walking by, shops are open, there is some military personnel, but otherwise it's absolutely looks normal. And if like a foreigner would come here, he would not even notice that Ukraine is at the state of war with the Russian Federation. So the Transcarpathia remains this island of peace so far in Ukraine. And in order to understand better the local approach, the local atmosphere, let's speak to one of my good friends, Viktor.
Hello.
So Viktor is the man. He is the guy native to Mukachevo and knows a lot of things here. The same, Viktor is my good friend, and he is probably the most popular travel vlogger here in Transcarpathian province. But definitely travel is not something you would promote during the war times, so let's get to know what he is busy now with.
For the last 2 weeks I'm mostly helping refugees to get out from Ukraine or to get abroad, mostly to Germany and Czech Republic. Around 1,000 something people, women and children we have sent to Germany.
Every day?
Every day.
Oh wow! How does it work here? You know, like, so people get to Zakarpattia Oblast and then they're looking for the ways out. Like, do you have some organization? How do you coordinate all of this activity?
There are two typical ways. First of all, we are making organized group. When we get accommodation somewhere in other countries in Europe and help people get through the border, get to some city in Germany, let's say, and they go to exact city, exact accommodation, exact point of help. And the second way is just to help people cross the border. And after it, they are going like self-travelers, let's say.
How did you get contacts with those people, with those organizations? And do you have like some organization here that, let's say, friends of people who watch this video can refer to if they need help with travel?
Many channels are working because, first of all, social network, second, the city hall, all the friends, all the community speaking about help, about contacts, about volunteers, and provide these contacts to each other. So it's not so difficult to find.
Definitely. So next to this video I'm going to leave contacts to Viktor's social media profiles and a website where you can reach to him and contact in case the help will be needed. Apart from the travel blog before the war, Viktor is also a businessman, and he managed to organize a really cool project promoting the local craft food from Transcarpathia, distributing this through all around Ukraine. The project was called Katran, and the idea of the project is what?
It was a collection of local food, monthly delivered to members of the group or to customers, and changing the content every month so people could try, could taste different local products from Zakarpattia, from Transcarpathia, because that's type of product which they could not get in supermarket. And it was helping to develop the taste, let's say, or to try different things. And second, to help small producers, which are, let's say, not on the big market. And actually I stopped it, but I'm thinking in several days to push it up just for, let's say, to move a little bit, not to forget this project.
Definitely you should push it, because I think, you know, since now, when the few weeks of war has passed already, the initial shock is over. Like most of the basic processes are in order. It's time to go back, like to remember that there is a normal life, and of course, like to do everything possible to sustain your life, to help the army, and to keep the business and economy running.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to Katran, guys, the link below, and something like really obvious for now, since Ukraine like now became integrated with the entire world. Do you have plans to export products of Katran abroad?
I was not thinking about it. It's rather far from me now, but who knows? To be honest, I was thinking that we need to import things because many factories in central or eastern Ukraine was crushed or stopped. So probably will be a demand to import food to Ukraine in next months.
If there are any food producers, can they contact you for this
Yes,
matter?
easily. We are thinking about it and starting to work. Because also the humanitarian aid coming through our friends in Mukachevo, we have several groups of volunteers. Some of them working with humanitarian aid, with food. Some of them working with military stuff. I am working on refugees, also helping to purchase some military, let's say, military interesting things for good guys.
Useful thing.
Yeah. So we are working on everything what we can help.
Perfect. You know, like Transcarpathia has very favorable geographical location. It is bordering with Slovakia, Hungary and Romania. So it's really easy and it's a nice starting point to, you know, to connect with other movements in Ukraine. And because of this geographical location, as I told previously in this video, it remained it is considered to be the safest place in Ukraine. So Viktor, can you tell what is the atmosphere here, what people feel and think regarding the military invasion, regarding the threat on the life here in Transcarpathia?
Of course everybody was afraid in the beginning, but after several days or 1-2 weeks we became for a, let's say, normal life. So many people try to help everybody who is coming here, because Mukachevo was a city of some, I think, 85,000 people. Actually for today we count about 130, 140, something like this.
So it's almost doubled.
More or less, but nobody knows exactly, so let's say so. Mukachevo in the region is full of new inhabitants, let's say so. Everybody tries to do something and try to help, because we need to do it. That's
Definitely.
all. That's all.
It's a really large impact for the local infrastructure. You know, in one of my previous videos, I was showing the railway station in Lviv, and you know there are 200,000 refugees in my city, but it's still like 25% of the normal population. Here we are talking about doubling the numbers. Yeah, and considering this, Mukachevo still it's a good place to be, as for me. So just take a look. So even though this is the morning, everybody is still sleeping, but it's busy on the street, yeah. And just take a look at this amazing city hall. Look at the architecture, like really elegant Art Deco, like the large pedestrian area around. People just walk. The weather is nice. Yeah, like it looks like everybody is minding their own business. Just, you know, some older couple is there. Our man, and in general, like this looks very nice. What I want to approach is this monument. Let's come a little bit closer. So this is the monument to Cyril and Methodius. If you heard from the history lesson in your school, I'm sure like it should be part of the curriculum. Cyril and Methodius were monks from the Byzantine Empire, and in the medieval times they traveled in the present day of Central and Eastern Europe, spreading writing here, yes, between those different Slavic tribes. So even Czechs, even Poles in the early Middle Ages used to start by using Cyrillic script, which we are now using still in Ukraine. Later on, because of the influence with different Germanic tribes and Western Europe, Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakian people also, yeah, they adopted Latin alphabet. However, Ukrainians are still using the Cyrillic script, which makes us pretty unique in this sense. Also, the Russians use Cyrillic script, yes, but now when there is definitely like a red line between those two cultures, and everybody understands that Ukrainians are not ethnical group of Russians, as the Vladimir Putin is justifying his invasion to Ukraine. I just think it's a nice idea at least to start a discussion about adopting Latin alphabet in Ukraine. The same happens in Serbia, for example, which is now drifting towards European integration. And I highly believe that this will make another useful and valuable connection between Ukraine and the rest of the civilized world. Please write down in the comments below to tell what do you think about such initiative. And as for me, at this moment, I would like to finish my presentation of Transcarpathia. I hope it showed you the atmosphere here, you understood some kind of background, and you felt, yes, what is actually happening here. If you find what I'm doing is valuable, what my team is contributing towards spreading the word about the Ukrainian question globally, please consider to support us, and below the video there is a link with a few recommendations and options how you can do this. At the moment I am done. It was Orest reporting from war in Ukraine. I wish you safety, good luck, and looking forward to see you in one of our upcoming videos. Bye bye.